Pompeo and his team were looking for a fight all last year. They put out report after report, some even after the election, about dismantling U.S. China relations. At the end, they came up with investment restrictions, new kinds of bans, new kinds of sanctions on people. The Hong Kong affair popped up, and they put sanctions on individuals in the Hong Kong authority structure. And then at the very end, they did, as I said earlier, the throwing out the book on how to deal with Taiwan and giving up on making decisions about what to do. So naturally, in the process of this back and forth, Pompeo kept saying harsh things about dismantling the Communist Party of China, which is a pipe dream for the United States. We couldn't dismantle the authorities in Iraq, Afghanistan, or even Cuba. So we're going to take on China next. But China took it too seriously. And we ended up with the people like Zhao Lijian and others, Hua Chuning and Beijing, becoming the wolf warriors, playing to the audience, talking tough. Now, in the context of a Pompeo who is every day making statements, fair enough. It's tit for tat, give back what you get. But we're in a new regime now. It's time to think about changing things. And sometime before the transition, I had a chance on one of these webinars with serious people in Beijing to suggest, and others have also suggested, that China try to turn a new leaf, that there's no reason to use wolf warrior diplomacy after January 20, unless the US engages in it again, and then, okay, respond in kind. We should also be exploring dismantling the mess left by Trump, whether it's reopening the consulates, reinstating visas for journalists, getting the students back and forth, restarting the Fulbright program, getting the Peace Corps back into China, ending the tariffs, putting the holds on various kinds of investment and trade under review, which is apparently being done on the American side by the new Secretary of Commerce. These measures I would hope that China would take. Unfortunately, China seems to be stuck in the rut. We had a chance Tuesday night with Yang Jiechi speaking to a prominent group of Americans online. The first half hour was public. I'm sure you've seen it. The last 2 hours was in private. I took no encouragement from that presentation. It was pretty depressing. The one small thing I noticed in Yang Jiechi's presentation was when he talked about what everybody talks about, and Jianqun just talked about it, cooperation on climate, pandemic, non-proliferation, and the global economy. Zhao Lijian last Friday said that's going to be conditional on improving other things. Well, a new team coming in with office and a host of policies to gather, coordinate, and pronounce, that is China's opportunity to seize the initiative, to step forward and show that it wants to deal with these various problems. Instead, we're getting the old phrase from China, he who tied the knot must untie it. And so they're waiting for us to unravel these things. That shows they just don't know how governments work. Their American experts are not getting to the top in China and explaining. And you'd think Yang Jiechi would know, as long as he's been exposed to the US in living here and then working with us. So we're not off to a great start. It's not fatal yet, but I want to cast doubt on any hope that we're going to make the kind of transition during this critical juncture that was possible, but maybe the opportunity will be missed. Finally, this is a matter of determining whether we're going to be hell-bent on conflict or we're going to find a way to coexistence.